The mission is to have 100,000 projects in 5 years.
And there is lots of free content available.
It is the difference between YouTube and Netflix. But in the data engineering field, those things don't work very well.
Correct.
Either you will get bits and pieces of code that's not verified. I had personally not heard of this word end-to-end project. You will do a separate course on Kafka. You will do another course on 𝗏𝗏.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Learning Bridge. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. So I am back with another amazing podcast for aspiring data professional, because you have always asked this query that, hey Shashank, we are new into the big data profiles like data engineering, data science, data analyst, machine learning engineer, business analyst, and we want to land into the good companies. But when it comes to resume shortlisting and cracking the interviews, most important thing will be your skill sets. And to get a good expertise, good hands-on experience on specific skill sets for these job profiles, you definitely need to have experience with some real world projects. Big data domain is something where you cannot get the good hands-on experience on different skill sets until and unless you have worked on real world projects, and that kind of exposure you will get until unless you become a part of industry or any company, right? But what if I say that there is one platform which has claimed that they have solved this problem by creating a well curated repository of enormous number of real world projects related to data engineering, data science, machine learning, and those projects are completely end to end solved, working, created by top notch engineers working in top tech companies, well documentation, guided videos, every skill set is covered. So this is going to be super cool since they claimed it. So I thought let's connect with their founder itself and try to understand why they created it and whatever they are saying, whether it is correct or not, and is it actually something which they have especially built for the big data engineer. And by the way, let me know in the comment section whether you have created any real world projects so far or not, or just a local setup in your laptop and playing around different tech and tool framework. Make sure to watch this podcast till the very end, because this is especially for my big data family. And if you find these kind of end-to-end solve big data projects really insightful and meaningful, then make sure to hit the like button and share this video so that this amazing information can reach to maximum number of people. And if you're new to my channel, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon. Guys, their team is really cool and really sweet. They have sent me an amazing t-shirt, so I'll quickly wear that and start our podcast. So thank you so much, Binny, for joining my podcast, and this is going to be a really wonderful session on my channel for the first time, like talking to someone who has founded such a really great platform. And I won't talk much. I would ask you to actually give a short introduction to the audience who is watching us and a little bit about your background.
Sure, Shashank. Thank you so much for having me on your channel. We are huge fans of your channel at ProjectPro, so completely honored to be here. So what we do at ProjectPro, Shashank, is that our mission is we want to take every software developer and we want to make them a 10x developer, to make them a 10x version of themselves. And the way we want to do that is we want to give every developer access to the work of a 10x developer.
Awesome.
So the ProjectPro platform basically gives it's a curated platform of ready-made project solutions. We currently focus on data scientists and big data engineers. And we have hundreds of real business cases solved end to end that people can take, they can reuse, or they can get practical experience from it. My background, I started life as a programmer, and then my first full-time job was in finance. I used to do investment banking on Wall Street. I used to work for an investment bank called Credit Suisse in New York. And then after that, I went to work for an online education performance marketing company called 𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 for a couple of years, before going down the entrepreneur route. Before we started ProjectPro, we were actually running an online training business. And in fact, the idea for ProjectPro came from that journey.
When I heard about this platform, which is like especially made for the big data scientists, I definitely seeked my attention, because I also belong to the same domain and I know what's the need of this kind of platform. So in your overall career, you have already like created like many startups as well, right? And this time this really cool idea, which is ProjectPro for the big data and data science domain. So I would like to know that when and how did this idea like just caught your attention? Okay, I need to build such kind of platform.
Yeah, no, thanks Shashank. I'm glad you think the platform is helpful. I mean, you being an experienced data engineer yourself, given that you think it's helpful, that's very, very nice to know. See, quite honestly, I wish I could take the credit for the idea, but we did not come up with the idea. We actually stumbled upon the idea accidentally.
Okay.
The way that happened was we were offering online courses in our previous business. We had trained about 11,000 data engineers and data scientists in North America and India. And, people would finish our courses. They would be very happy that they learned something, and then they would go get a job. Now, after they get a job, they'll be working on a project inside their companies, and then they'll notice that there is very little connection between that course and that project they're working on inside a company, right? And many of them would bring their projects back to us, and they would ask our faculty to solve it for them so that they could go give it to their bosses inside their companies, make their managers happy, and they can go home. So we used to do this for a while. We needed the cash back then. So I think 50, 60 projects we did.
Okay.
And in that journey, Shashank, we realized that unless you're doing some bleeding edge technology at some Tesla, or you're sending rockets to the moon or something like that, there is so much similarity in the data engineering, data science work that happens across Fortune 3000 enterprise companies.
Okay.
Then we took those similarities away and we started packaging them as pre-built project templates, and we released it. Now, initially, we were not sure if anybody would pay for this. And then people started paying for it. And then we used to call these customers to find out why were they paying for it, because there is so much free code available online today. And then the customers started telling us what value they see from it, and then we built on top of it, and that was the journey. So we accidentally found it, our customers showed us the problem, and we just built what they asked us to do.
Yeah, and this is quite awesome. Like, accidentally you created such a cool platform, and I know, like, being a data professional, I used to get thousands of queries from aspiring data engineers, data scientists. Shashank, please let us know any good platform where we can find some real world project and can work on it, because we know, there are platforms, they have courses, but only one demo project, I don't think so it is going to add any value in your technical skill understanding or anything, and you actually solved it. So guys, let me know in the comment section as well, what do you think about the ProjectPro, and if you are from the data domain, what's your thought? Like, is it actually solving your problem or not, what you were looking for? Because for me, it actually did. Initial look I had on the platform, so it was more on the big data projects and the data science project. So I would like to understand your perspective while designing the thing. Why did you pick this domain specifically, the big data part? And did you see any kind of gap in the learnings, or whosoever is actually trying to get into this platform, and you try to fill that gap?
Yeah, Shashank, good question. See, honestly, the way we picked this domain, again, is kind of an accident, because we knew this domain pretty well from our previous experience. When we were offering online courses, it was already in the big data, data engineering, cloud, that kind of domain. So we knew those users pretty well. So they were the one telling us what they wanted. So it just happened that when we built the first product, we built it for these users whom we already knew. That is how we found it. Now, to your second question about was there a specific gap that we noticed? Again, the specific gap our users were telling us was, they told us that, see, if I go online, there are lots of free forums, there's Stack Overflow, GitHub and all that. Those work very well for front-end development, full stack development, the mobile app, things like that. But in the data engineering field, those things don't work very well. And even if it does, I have to spend hours going through many repositories on Git, read 50 different Medium blogs, and then finally I have to put together a solution that makes sense. So the open source free communities did not solve the problem that they wanted, because either you will get bits and pieces of code that's not verified, or to find a proper thing, you have to spend hours and figure it out yourself, read the code, read the comments, figure it out yourself. On the other extreme, you had courses. And courses are fantastic. Courses are great. They are needed. They give you a very nice theoretical foundation. But unfortunately, that is not enough to do an end-to-end project inside a company. So these users showed us the gap between these free online forums and these courses. And then we basically built inside that gap. That's basically what happened.
Cool. And I can totally relate with your points which you mentioned about those gaps. And I must say, you actually figured out what is the actual gap, right? I know, like when I started my data engineering journey, or when I was working in different projects, right? Let's say my manager assigned some project or task. I hustled a lot. I was not even able to find any crisp set or any dedicated resource or repository where I can figure out, yes, this is something which I want to build and similar to my project use cases. So moving on to the next question, Binny, this is actually related to the USPs, right? And if you want to let the audience know that what is actually there on the ProjectPro platform for them, so that would be really great, and how this thing can actually help them.
Sure, Shashank. Yeah. See, there is just one word for the USP of what ProjectPro we offer. It is end-to-end project.
Okay.
Quite honestly, even until 2 years back, I had personally not heard of this word end-to-end project. I have heard industry project, real life project, live project. I've heard all of these words. But then, I told you that we released that first project, right? And people were paying for it. We called them and we were asking them, why are you paying for this? And that is where we first heard the word. Customers were telling us, you have an end-to-end project. So if there is one core USP, it is end-to-end project. So now what is an end-to-end project? See, now if you're doing a course in data engineering, you will do a separate course on Kafka, you will do another course on 𝗏𝗏, you will do another course on PySpark, you will do another course on Tableau, you'll do another course on AWS, you'll probably do another course on Hive. But now when you go into a company, right, nobody really cares. You have 6 different courses, 6 different certifications. They give you a business problem and they expect you to stitch together 6 different tools to solve that problem. That is an end-to-end project. We take a business problem, we use multiple tools, stitch together a solution and give you everything from data extraction, ingestion to visualization to deployment with the solution code verified and explanations.
Okay.
This is our core USP, Shashank. This is what we
And
offer.
one thing I would like to know, who actually designed these projects, right? And I think that would be also one of the addition in the USPs. Whosoever has, let's say, designed the project, whether we will be getting help from them if we are stuck and we are not able to understand any piece of the project.
No, yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. That's a great question. So the way we find experts to design these projects, right, Shashank? See, we go to companies that are already dealing with data problems at scale. We go to large tech companies that are large financial services companies, large retail companies that are dealing with huge big data problems. We find experts from there and they help us design these solutions and release it on the platform. That is how we build these projects. Now we have an internal product team. The product team decides what to build. They find the experts, we curate it, we quality control it, and we release it. That's how we release the projects. Now, the second part of your question, a key part of the platform, other than the end-to-end projects, is the tech support that we offer. So, if you are working on a project, no matter how much we explain it, you will certainly have some doubts, some questions, you will have those issues. So we offer these unlimited one-to-one mentorship sessions where you can connect with the experts who made those projects to troubleshoot your questions and things like that. So we offer that.
Awesome. Okay, let's say I'm an aspiring data engineer or aspiring data scientist. I can work on these projects. But is ProjectPro helpful for job seekers too? I mean, aspiring big data professionals who want to start their career in this industry. If yes, then how it can help, like this platform?
Sure, fine. See, the quick answer is yes. We have 2 kinds of members on the platform, right? We have practitioners and we have learners. Now, practitioners are people who are already big data engineers. They are not looking for a job change. They use our platform to reuse our templates, reuse our code to get their work done faster. But we also have lots of learners who come to us for a career change, job change, and things like that. Now you will do this better. You will know this better. I've seen a lot of your interviews with people for job aspirations and things like that. The biggest thing when they go for a job that they want to do is they want to build a project portfolio.
Correct.
And the reason they want to build a project portfolio is when they go for an interview, they are asked the question, "What experience do you have?" But most of these people don't have experience. So how do you get experience before you get the job? right? And people do courses, they do capstone projects, and then they come to us and they say, hey, I want to look at what a real project looks like inside a real company. And then they take maybe 12, 15 projects from our portfolio. They implement it along with some mentorship support. They publish it into their portfolio. And then when they go for their interviews, the primary value we give them is we give them confidence in themselves. So that when they are asked what experience you have, they can confidently talk about multiple real projects they have worked on through the ProjectPro platform.
All right, cool. So I think this thing will be helpful for the job seekers as well at the end in the interviews or even your shortlisting. If you haven't worked on like kind of any big data related projects which is somehow related to the real world solutions, I think you are minimizing your chances as well. That's what even I have learned.
The mission as a company is to have 100,000 projects in 5 years.
How different ProjectPro is from other platform in the same domain, right? What kind of gap ProjectPro has filled which others were not able to do so far?
It's a great question, Shashank. See, this is one of the things even we as founders, we keep researching the market to see who else is doing something similar. Most entrepreneurs will say, I don't have competition. They'll say that. We also like to say that, but we're always paranoid if somebody else doing the same thing. But the reason how we are different is the following. Okay, there are 3 parameters in which we are different. One is this whole concept of end-to-end projects.
Okay.
See, today, if a data engineer wants to fill this kind of skill gap or see real-life projects, there are 2 kinds of solutions they will go to. They'll either go to the online forums like GitHub and Stack Overflow and Kaggle and things like that, or they'll go to courses. Now, none of these platforms offer end-to-end projects today. You might get bits and pieces of code. You might get slightly large projects on GitHub. But an entirely put together from data ingestion to analysis to transformation to visualization deployment, that in one place, customers can't find today. So that is the first area that we differentiate, which is end-to-end projects. The second area where users see value in us is verified code. That is, if you come to us and let's say we have a business problem called customer churn. If you use that code, you can be sure that code has been tested, debugged, verified by a team, so that you don't have to struggle with it, you don't have to figure it out, things like that.
Okay.
Third is explanations, right? Today, if you go to one of the online forums, you have to read the documentation, you have to read the comments, you have to figure it out. With us, every project comes with a sequence of videos where the expert is doing a screen share and explaining step by step the end-to-end projects. And then finally, this is a new thing that's launching this month. We are offering a cloud lab environment for all our projects. So every project, one click deploy to cloud, pre-installed, pre-configured. You don't have to do anything. So that is coming. So it's a combination of these things, we believe, how we are different.
So great things coming and for the ProjectPro. And Binny, I would like to end this session with one last final question, and that is something which is quite debative. Like, how would you justify the significance of paid courses in the modern tech industry? Because we know penetration of the internet is really easy nowadays, right? And it's quite easy to access. And there is lots of free content available, be it the websites, Medium blogs, the YouTube channels. Then how do you differentiate this thing, the actual USPs of the paid courses versus the free courses stuff?
Sure, Shashank. It's a great question. It's a question, we spend a lot of time thinking as well. And, you can tell me how you think about it as well. See, the way I think about it is the difference between YouTube and Netflix. Both are for entertainment. You can go to both places for entertainment. One is not a direct competitor to the other. They coexist and both are needed. Different kinds of people use different things. In different situations, they need different things. So I think free and paid is very similar, which is the reason people pay for something is they can expect curation, they can expect quality, they can predict a standardized way of things are being done. So when they are busy, when they immediately need something, they can quickly access it. There is lesser work for them to do to figure things out. Things are handed to you in a platter. That's why people pay for it. There is always the section of the population who will prefer to do the free courses, figure it out themselves, and that is great and that is perfect. So I really think the paid courses add significant value, like how Netflix adds value to all our lives. We all pay for it, even though there is free entertainment on YouTube. That's how I think about it, Shashank.
Yeah, that's true. And I also like agree with your points which you mentioned, the exclusivity and the kind of support, right? Let's say somebody uploaded a YouTube video or somebody wrote a Medium blog, right? And after that, like that person might be gone, right? You know, whatever he
Correct.
has written, is it verified? And let's say now you are stuck, right, with the gap of information,
Yeah.
who would reach out, right? And how will you try to figure
Yeah.
out what's the next step, what's the next action item for you, and what's the plan, what's the roadmap? And here is the paid courses which plays the important role. That's the
Yeah.
fact. Both of the things are needed, paid and free. So I hope this thing will help the audience as well, especially the big data professionals, big data enthusiasts. You should definitely check out the platform. All the important links will be in the description. ProjectPro has its own YouTube channel as well, where they keep on bringing some really cool tech stuff. Just check that out. That link will be in the description. So thank you so much, Binny, for giving your time on the weekends, and I hope we will meet again soon with some different topic and some different conversation.
Same here, Shashank. Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, we are huge fans of what you're doing inside Project Pro.
Thank you.
The fact that you managed to have a full-time job and also run a very popular channel like this, please keep doing the good work. Thank you for having me again.
Awesome. Thank you. That's what I had for you guys in this video. I hope you would have enjoyed this entire conversation with Binny. And if you find it meaningful, really, really relevant, make sure to give a like in the big numbers. And again, if you're new to my channel, then subscribe quickly and press the notification icon. I will see you guys in the next weekend with another amazing podcast. Till then, just stay safe, stay home, take care of yourself and your family too.